so the first thing I've got to share with you in September, I actually ordered these in August, but they took a little while to arrive. So the first up is, these are the items from Jackson's in the UK, and I got myself a travel brush. This, I believe, was the, well, let's open it and you'll see, but it's a finer detail brush than what I already have. So it's the Isabe 04, and you can see it's quite a fine. I have one that's similar, that's not a travel brush, that's a Princeton, and it's a nice fine brush, and I really like doing like the detail work with it. So I thought this would be a nice one to add to my travel brush kit, which I'm really excited about. Actually, I have something that I ordered from Etsy in August, early August. It still hasn't arrived, and my travel brushes will fit in that perfectly, but we'll see if it ever gets there. It's coming from Poland. You can probably guess what these are. I've been binge watching quite a bit of Sandy Hester's content, and actually I purchased her new course, Birds, which I'm really excited about because, let me just show you. This is something I'd been working on. I started it August, late August. I still haven't finished it. We're only in the start of like the 2nd of September at the moment while I'm filming this, so that's where that is at, and so that's why I bought her course. But she uses loads of pencils, and she was talking about quite a few, and so I made a note of some of the colors, not because I wanted to have the same products as her, but because I'm really enjoying pencil work and I want to get to know it better. And I really enjoy Helen Carr's channel and Natasha, I can't remember Natasha's surname, and there's another person, but they all use colored pencils. And being that I'm still discovering my style, as it were, I was like I know I love watercolors and I have gouache, but I am finding things that I enjoy doing and I wanted to continue that, and so that's how I came to buy a whole bunch of colored pencils. So I've got some new ones here that I've never used before. We have, I think these are Holbein polychromos. So I do have a polychromos already, the cold grey, and I have a warm grey as well that I think I bought from a store years ago, but other than that I've never bought them before. These are 3 beautiful colors. Do they tell me the names? Salmon, green gold, and dark cadmium yellow. I mean, aren't they just beautiful? Look at those. Oh, and then this one is a Holbein flesh, which is obviously quite clearly a Caucasian flesh. I don't think pencils or any colors should be named as flesh. It's like underwear. It really annoys me when it's like flesh colored. It's like, well, there are thousands of different kind of tones of flesh, and you should be a little bit more like, I don't know, inclusive. It just feels a little bit anti-inclusive if you ask me, but that's me having a rant. And then I'm not sure what I, oh yeah, we've got, oh, these are Derwent ones. Okay, so I do have a set of Derwent drawing pencils that I had here. Didn't want them mixed in with my luminance, took them back to the UK. They're at my dad's, but now I think I'm just going to go through them when I'm next home, and actually in a couple of weeks time, and have a look at them. I hate how they put barcodes on these. I've now got to try and get those off without ruining the pencils. So what I did, I think these are all the Lightfast ones. I've never ever tried Derwent Lightfast before. Okay, never tried them. So we've got light bronze, wheat, forest, spruce green, wild lavender, and dark honey. If you look at those colors, aren't they pretty? I do think these ones are more pretty than these colors, but you know. Okay, and then this one. Now, one could say, oh, it's really silly. You've ordered so many Caran d'Ache luminance that you should have just bought a big box set at some point. And others will say, well, why are you ordering all these from Jackson's when, like, you know, these are Swiss, so they're going from here to the UK and then back again, and I pay VAT to bring them back into the Netherlands. And you know what, even with the price difference, stuff here in the Netherlands is quite cheap, quite expensive, and even with the cost of shipping, it still works out cheaper to ship some stuff. Like these Derwent drawings, I think are £1.70 from Jackson's, and here in the Netherlands they're like €2 or €3. So I got green shadow and olive earth. Aren't they beautiful? Those. I can see why Sandy Hester likes these. These are very much her colours. What's the woman's name? Is it Natasha? She does like stuff, lots of sketching down in Cornwall. She's got some really nice prints I want to look at actually. And then these are all Caran d'Ache luminance. So we've got the light malachite green, beautiful colour, the chromium oxide green, apricot, cobalt blue light, crimson aubergine. Oh, this is another Lightfast one. Doesn't have a name on it. I wonder what that is. Oh, pine. Sometimes I'm such a lemon. Let's put that there. Burnt ochre 50%. I've got a burnt sienna recently and I love it. It's so pretty, and it's like the 10%. And I was like, oh, let me try the burnt ochre. Ultramarine. Aren't they just beautiful? I'm so excited to test these out. Okay, so another of the packages that I've ordered in September are some pencils. Now don't be confused, these are not Derwent. These came from Jackson's. Ooh, I have a lovely collection. So I think they should all be luminance apart from one, which was a Derwent drawing. I think it was the white one I ordered because somebody said it was one of the best for like opaque white. There we go. That one's separate. It does look chunkier as well, actually. Is that everything? That's it. Okay, so let's do the Derwent. I got the Chinese white Derwent drawing. It's a big, it looks like the inner core is bigger than what you get with the luminance, and it was half the price actually. I think this was like 140 and these are like, oh, actually 170 and these are 340. So I got raw umber. I'll swatch these all out so you can see what they look like. This is, I'm never going to be able to say that, anthraquinoid pink 571, brown ochre 10%, burnt sienna 10%, so a nice kind of pinky color. Payne's grey 30. I love Payne's grey in paint form. There should be a full Payne's grey as well. This one should be actual Payne's grey. This is the pink white, which somebody, I'll see if I can remember the name and I'll tell you when I'm swatching them out, but somebody uses this over, not Prussian blue, it must be this one, dark indigo, and says that they get really lovely results. I thought I wanted to experiment with those. And then this one is Prussian blue, which if you've been here before, you know I love a Prussian blue. Finally, we have olive yellow. Okay, so I'll swatch these up next for you so you can see what they actually look like. Okay, I've just pulled out like my generic sketchbook so that we can swatch these out. I'm going to start with the darkest to lightest. So this is dark indigo. Ooh, it's so pretty. This should be Prussian blue. Yay. Grey normal here. So it doesn't have the kind of like blue tone that I'm quite fond of with some Payne's greys. This is the 30%. Yeah, this has more of the blue, kind of like a blue grey. Raw umber. That's quite nice. It's kind of like a greeny brown, but like a very warm greeny brown. And then olive yellow first. This one's much like, it's harder, it's not as creamier, but it's scratchy. That might be the first scratchy pencil I've had from Luminance. Normally they're quite soft in my experience. Okay, then we're gonna do the brown ochre 10%. Yeah, it's like a kind of peachy. Let's go with this complex to say anthraquinoid pink. Oh, isn't that pretty? I like that. You might be able to hear my cat scratching away in the background, trying to get my attention. Then we have burnt sienna 10%. Ooh, isn't that lovely as well? I'm trying to remember the name of the person who had a video on these that I watched. And then this one is pink white. So you can just see that on the page. And then this one is the Chinese white. And then this one is the pink white. I'm going to try this on the dark indigo, as recommended in the video. I'm going to add it in the link below. Oh, that's really nice. Look at that. You see how it's changed the dark, deep indigo? Well, I went to the art store on the Saturday and I sat and I did some drawing afterwards, and I feel like I did videos of them on the table where I was sat, but I'm not sure that I spoke to you about them, so I'm going to run through them now because I've joined Sarah Van Dongen's Patreon, and there was like a couple of videos on like color theory and stuff, and she recommends like starting with one of your favorite colors and then building out from that. One of my favorite colors is like a turquoisey kind of blue, and the other is like a kind of like orangey yellow. So what I did is I went to the art shop. These I wasn't supposed to get, but I got suckered in because I saw them and I love beautiful colors, so what we'll do is I'll show you, oh my gosh, I don't know where to start because it's so pretty. Let's start with the polychromos. So I got two polychromos. I got cobalt turquoise as is, and then cobalt turquoise light. Okay, can you see those? So the turquoise light, let's do that over here. Isn't that just so beautiful? And then the cobalt turquoise next to it. And these are really nice to use in my sketchbook, and they blend nicely. Beautiful. And then I have already quite a few Inktense pencils. These are so old. These are from when I was like at university in the late 2000s, before we reached 2010. Tangerine, and I've got two of these actually, and isn't that beautiful? Because I don't have a turquoise color, there was the Inktense set that I had bought. There's not a turquoise in there. Oh, look at that. Seeing it, so excited by color. So at the art store I got them from Van Beek. I also picked up this Super Color Soft Caran d'Ache. It's a water soluble one. I don't know whether these are light fast. I don't think the Inktense are, to be fair, from what I think I've read online or watched online, but I figure they're only in my sketchbook. I'm just getting my paintbrush. Look at that, isn't that pretty? Ooh. And then I'm gonna put a blob of water here. This paper is terrible, it's really thin. But I also got this acrylic ink, De La Rowney FW. I don't own any FW stuff. It's sedimenty on the bottom. This one is turquoise. Ooh, isn't that beautiful? Let me just see if we can roll it around a little bit. I don't want to put it on my nice, beautiful paintbrushes. Obviously, it's completely different to the other colours here, but the Verditer, Prussian Blue, the Indigo, that's not part of the collection. In fact, it's very similar to these. What was this? Is that the Verditer that I brought up here? I think it was, wasn't it? So I'm confusing myself. Okay, let me show you this one is Orange Flame, or Flame Orange. Oh, look at that. Oh, I don't really want to use my fingers on it. Let me get a different paintbrush. I've got like some old gnarly brushes that I'll just use. Move it around a bit. Look at that. How does that work over? Ooh, can you see that? I love colour so much. And then I also got this light blue Posca pen. I have an orange one, which you have seen me buy in a previous video, which works well with my new colour palette. This one does not. You see, it's like pale blue, so that's already been like cast off back into the Posca pot. So I need to go and hunt down a proper one, but I do think that I could probably use this ink and add it, if not this, one second. Then I also have this golden high flow acrylic, and I figure in Blue Lagoon, which I think you've seen, hang on, I'm just going to see if I can get that bubble to do bubbly things. See that? Which is similar to this. So my thinking is what I could probably do is get one of those pens that, like, actually I have one upstairs. You know the water brush pens that I bought? The Caran d'Ache. One of them is like a felt pen that I don't use. I've been using these out and about, they're really handy. But maybe I could try putting this high flow version into that and testing it out. See, this is why I don't swatch at the same time, because this video is going to be so long now. I also picked up from Van Beek these pastels. Do you call them pastels or pastels? Look, they're already dirtying my hands. So I have a couple of oil pastels already from Sennelier. You've seen those in previous videos. This one I picked up, it is the bright yellow, and it's really, look at that, it's so lovely. It's a good combination, and I just thought it would be good for like using as a final layer. But I also got these pastels that are like the powdery ones. They make so much mess. So I got Orange Deep. These are Schminky and Schminke Extra Soft Artist Pastels. These are reduced at the moment of Van Beek. These like really scare me. So that's the orange. And then we have, this is Cobalt Turquoise. This is like a paler one. So Schminky seem to have like different colors with the same name, just different dark light. Like this is M for medium. This one is D, so presumably dark. I don't know how to use these. I haven't used like chalk pastels in years. Oh no, I put my dirty orange on that. Sorry, orange. And then this is the dark. That one maybe? See Aren't they pretty? Oh, I don't know what to do with my hands now. Should I just put them on my trousers? My shorts? I can't do that because I'll ruin them. I just wanted to show you because I do think I've mentioned I do have similar colours. Look, so these are years, not years, months old, and I haven't done anything with them because I'm scared because they make so much mess. Oh, that's a much darker colour. This one is 03A. I can't even remember the brand name for these ones. Oh, look at that. And then let's use this one. This one's 02A. Oh no, that's too blue. Okay. So you can definitely see from the art supplies that I've been gathering that I've got a certain interest in two specific colours at the moment. Anyway, that's all I've got now. We are the 6th of September. That's a lot of art supplies already. I do have some others, but I'm going to hold off on showing those today because I need to tidy up and I will record that section tomorrow. So a couple of things have just turned up. It's Wednesday the 6th of September. I've literally about an hour ago published August's art haul video and a couple of items just turned up. Now these were supposed to be delivered. This item should have been delivered in August. I ordered it on August 4th and it's only just arrived. This item I ordered to arrive yesterday while my partner was out the house and it just arrived. Thankfully he had to rush out quickly for a meeting and it just got delivered. So I'm going to take you over what's inside now. So with the first one, I'm just going to be careful because I don't want to share my address with the world. This is something that has arrived from Poland, and actually I had seen the pagan oil, seeing people using them, and I'm like, oh my god, they look amazing, but they're also really expensive. And this, I was looking for something for my partner for his birthday and he loves playing cards, so I got him like a custom made card case, like playing card case, and I saw that the same company sold these and I was like, well, okay, I'll get one. If I don't end up using it here, I can leave it in the UK at my dad's. Look, Evie doodles. So it is leather. It's a beautiful colour and it has this little pocket. So I'll leave the link to the Etsy shop in the description. Now it did take a long time to get here, even though I'm in the Netherlands. It came from Poland. I think it came very slowly by car, and it's just a nice kind of size. It's almost like having like a little wrist clutch, like a little hand clutch or something. This, it wasn't supposed to come with a buckle, but they're quite agreeable to putting on what you want. So I had said, I'd seen that it was an option, so I just left a note and asked if I could have a buckle, because I think generally it just wraps around like with a piece of leather cord. And yeah, so I can fit in, and this is my new desk palette at the moment, based upon some colours that I want to experiment with, based upon a Patreon that I joined. And I did test this out this morning when it arrived, because this did arrive this morning. It woke me at the crack of dawn, and that does fit in there. And then yeah, I think it's got space for a small sketchbook as well. Let me have a look. I don't think it will fit that actually. No. Okay, well it won't fit a sketchbook, but it would fit like some pencils. I mean, if I'm completely honest, the one that I want is the pagan oil one, but I can't justify spending I think it's £140, so that's not happening. But I suppose I could make my own version, because I do fashion and sewing, so that could be something I do myself, just make my own one. Why am I putting the same pencil type in there? So I'm not sure about this. It might just be something that I keep at my dad's when I go home in September, take it there, and then just have my art supplies to have when I'm sitting and chatting with him. This one I'm really excited about. I think I hid my address on here, so it's fine actually. I can do it the right way. Now, I've previously had complaints that I don't swatch stuff out the day that I do the art haul video. And the reason for that is I don't know that anyone will sit through a really long video of me swatching out my supplies, because I mean, if you've seen my videos before, sometimes I do get quite a few supplies and I don't want to bore people, so that's kind of why I break it up. Oh, hang on. Let's dig in and have a look at these. I'm not very sensible when it comes to using scissors. Okay, you ready? Ooh. Now, let's first of all touch on these two. This is Quinacridone Sienna. This one is Indigo. They're both Daniel Smith. The reason that we have these, so you have seen some of my Daniel Smith stuff before. But what I recently did, as in like about 3 or 4 days ago, is I put all of my Daniel Smiths in this very large 48-pan palette. The reason why is I was getting fed up trying to find the different Daniel Smith paints in different places. So like I have my Roman Schmalls in one place and my Winsor Newtons in one place. These are all my Daniel Smiths. Now here you can see I've got a hole for the indigo and a hole for the Queen Sienna, and that's it. Literally I have no more space for any more Daniel Smith. These are all the Daniel Smiths I own. For those, we can squeeze these in now. Let's do that now. So the reason that I ended up buying these is because there's somebody called, I think her name is Millie Anastasia, I'm not sure, she has a YouTube channel, I'll link it in the description below as well, but she used in a recent video, and I love the color combination, but indigo, quinacridone, sienna, and I think it was either sepia or burnt umber, I forget which one, and I checked and I knew that I already had those, so that's why I have the 2 spaces left for these. So we're going to pop these in now. This is the indigo. Oh, it's oozing out. Always does that. And again, I'm not going to put an awful lot in, just like a small amount. Now the big question is, shall I swatch out those 2? I'm going to wedge that in. Or shall I redo the swatching video for my entire Daniel Smith collection? Now I have already done a video swatching out Daniel Smiths, but not the full collection, because I did order more Daniel Smith paints since then. So I'll leave it up to you. I will pop a poll up and you can respond. And if the vote is that you want to see a new Daniel Smith swatching video, and I'll do bigger swatches this time because I think last time I did it in my little swatch book. Okay, so I'm going to put this one here. I'm going to know that it's indigo, but just in case. Okay, in the interests of just like getting on with it, you'll have to excuse the dirty water because it's dirty, and I know it's not going to give me a true accurate idea of these colors, but I just kind of want to like see them. You ready? Oh, look at that. That is the absolute most beautiful. Oh, that is going to fit right in with what I'm doing at the moment. Oh my goodness, isn't that just beautiful? Let me show you a sneak peek. You might already have seen this by the time this video comes out. You may have already seen this sketchbook anyway in one of my hobby notes videos, but sorry, I'm just trying to find a page without showing you everything. Can you see I've been working with like my 2 favorite colors? That's one, and then this is another one, and I know they're not amazing, they're not great, but they are me experimenting and having fun, and that, look at that, that fits right in there. Oh, how exciting. Okay, let's double check the indigo. Kind of just want to use, oh, that one doesn't have any paint in the lid. Call it a lid or a cap. Let's grab a bit there. You ready? Oh, look at that. That's beautiful. Oh, that is absolutely beautiful. My goodness. Oh, look at that. So this is quinacridone sienna, this is indigo, both Daniel Smiths. My gosh, I love that indigo. How have I not known that that existed? Let's quickly compare it to my Prussian blue that I normally absolutely adore. And so this was in a different, it was in a full pan and I cut it in half. Oh yeah, see, still completely different. Oh, but which do I prefer now? I love the brightness of the Prussian blue, but I love this deep, gorgeous, dark, moody indigo. Oh my days, so many options. Oh, and Verditer. I don't know if you've seen the Verditer. I don't know how to say it, but this was from, see, these ones you haven't seen because these were not in my Daniel Smith swatching video because I hadn't gotten them at that point. Look at that, that's beautiful for skies. See that? Like imagine that next to, ooh, I'm so excited. I think I'm gonna have to do a brand new Daniel Smith swatching video, but I'll do it like large scale so people can like really see the swatches. So the other things that came in this little Jackson's collection are some Isaro, I'm not sure how, but they are crafted in Belgium watercolor paints. And the silly thing is I probably could have bought them directly from Belgium for less than ordering them from Jackson's, but Jackson's was having a sale and I got paid and I just decided to treat myself. So let me talk you through what I got. We have Isaro Yellow Light, Saffron Yellow, then we have Burnt Sienna, although here in the English translation it's Brunt Sienna. Bit of a typo there, I think. And then English red. Now I never do this, I never buy orange, but I am working a lot with blues, like a turquoisey blue and orange at the moment. So I got this Pyrrole orange. And then the Van Dyke brown, I also got a burnt umber, which I think is very similar but warmer. So this will probably be warmer than the Van Dyke brown. And that's good for mixing with blues, I believe. I haven't tried that myself. Well, let's start with this one because this one looks paler. Cerulean blue, great for skies. I'm so excited by these. And then we'll show the ultramarine blue and then Prussian blue. And if you've been here before, you know that this is one of my favorite blues. So that's a nice little collection of 10 Isaro watercolors. Shall I swatch them out for you now? Or shall I save it for another day? Another thing that I just picked up when I was in the UK. So it's like September 20th and I was in the UK for a week. Unfortunately, it meant that I didn't get a video uploaded that I wanted. But luckily for me, some lovely things arrived. So these are 2 items that I bought from another YouTuber. I'm going to show them to you. You might be able to guess who they are. If you've been watching YouTube channels for a while, you might recognize the artwork. It's Natasha Newton. So this is her web shop. I love her illustration style. I don't think it's something I would ever create myself. It's quite folky. I don't know. But what I love about it is look at the textures. Can you see the texture that she gets in her work? So I got a set of postcards because I thought, well, these are something that I can either frame and put in my office space because I have an office for my day job that I'm renting. It's quite new and I've got it so it will enable me to write my book. But I thought I could frame these up. They'll look quite lovely and they'll add something to it. But as well, I wanted to like study the techniques that she's used so that I can kind of like learn other people's techniques and see if anything resonates with me. Like she uses lots of layering. This looks like it's granulated watercolor, doesn't it? But I know she uses a lot of colored pencils because I've bought some colored pencils based upon what I've seen her work with. So that's those. And then, sorry, my cat's just racing around. And then the other item I bought, ooh, there's another card. I think these must all be like pre-packaged because otherwise why would you send 2 cards exactly the same? But they're pretty. And then these look like freebies. So these are different. And that's interesting. So these are freebies because I didn't order these. I really like the texture here. So small side note, when I was a teenager, I really loved illustration and I bought one of those like, you know, those yearbooks of like children's illustrators 1996 kind of thing because it was something I was very seriously considering. I'm going to art school and stuff, and then I actually went into nannying of all things. So I have spent years looking at children's books anyway, but I'm very drawn to this like multi-layered aesthetic or style, whatever you want to call it. So these, but it's interesting, these are very matte. They feel more like prints that you might put on the wall, whereas these are very kind of like shiny, like postcards that you would send in the post. So that's nice to get. And then I saw that she had some sketchbooks. Now these aren't quite as I thought they would be because I don't think I looked very carefully, but for nighttime sketches I assumed the paper would be black. It's not. And for daytime drawings I assumed the paper would be white. It's not. The paper is actually exactly the same, but I also thought, well, they're quite small, so I can have one by the bed for nighttime drawing, and then this one I can always have in my little bag with my very small travel kit, so I've got something to sketch on. And it looks like they are limited numbers, 35 or 50. I don't know much about them, 35 or 50. I'm excited to try them. So that's a few things that I brought back from my dad's that I had ordered, and of course it goes without saying that while I was there I might have got some more things from Jackson's. So I am, as you can see, because of this, I'm obsessed with the layering, and I don't think I should show you anything in my sketchbook because I'm going to save that for my next art as a hobby video. But I have been working more with pencils. I've now built out quite a healthy, well, I say a healthy collection. I'm not sure it's that healthy, but I think I've got over 70 pencils now. But then, you know, I've seen some people with like hundreds. So I got myself a selection of just 8 pencils. See? I was really good and really restrained. I'm trying to find a piece of paper because I figured I should probably like swatch these out for you. 8 pencils. I'm so excited. Let's start with the Holbein. I got 2 Holbeins, so I'm not being a snob anymore. Before I was just like luminance, Carantash, luminance, and now I'm like, I'm open to flirting with other brands of pencil. So this is the Holbein, which is a Japanese brand of sand. And oh, I love how like creamy it feels initially. We have rose pink. It's such a pretty color. And then I got one Polychromos. It's Chrome Oxide Green Fiery 276 Polychromos Faber Castell. This one's much chalkier. You see, it's like, I think this is why I don't really get Polychromos. I'm pretty sure I remember them being a drier pencil. I used to have a couple from when I was at university. Yeah. Okay, then I have one Derwent Drawing. No, Derwent Lightfast. And this is Nightshade. This is a beautiful colour. You ready? Like, this is going to blow your mind. Oh, look at that. Is that not just absolutely beautiful? It's like this dark, rich purple colour. Oh, I love it. Can you even see that? I don't even know if it's showing on the screen properly. That beautiful colour. Oh, I love it so much. It's beautiful. Okay, then we have the Luminance. I'll start from the lightest to the darkest. We've got Pulanium Red 068. That's pretty. It's like a kind of peachy. And then we have Burnt Sienna 50%. I love the Burnt Sienna. I think it's 10% that I've got that I love. So, and I've got the full 100%. So I thought I'd try this as well. Ooh. Then we have the Terracotta. So I have one called Cornelian, which I really love. But Terracotta I think is a bit richer, like darker, rustier colour, rather than the Cornelian, which is quite orangey. Ooh, yay. It's a bit dusty compared to the others. Quite similar to the Faber-Castell greeny, oxidey, chromium-y, what's-it-y one. Oh, I love it. And then this one is Genuine Cobalt Blue 662. It's quite vibrant, isn't it? Oh, that's very pretty. That's gonna be nice for like little bodies of water and sky, and ooh, it's a bit crumbly as well. Yeah. So those are my new colour pencils as well.